713 horsepower, 557 foot-pounds of torque, 14.5 PSI, stock block. Internet, we are back. Tony with Fast Intentions, and I am up the street here at Specialty Z. Today is a real treat. It's a little nostalgic. The car behind us, we actually installed our twin turbo system and all the bits and goodies back in 2016. It's so crazy to think that we fast forward all these years. It's 2022. This thing's been running like a champ with our twin turbo system. I know he's got tens of thousands of miles on this thing. I can't even keep up with what he's put to it. That said, you know, back then we did our HTZ 2868 turbochargers, which actually now is a stage 1. Back then it was our stage 2 kit. Here we are. The car has now come here today. It's performed really well. Upgrades to entail for this kind of refresh, this reboot, if you will. Wavetrac differential, limited slip, Z1 differential bushings. That's a nice upgrade. It's going to be a little bit more robust, a little bit more stout. We have since ditched the TurboSmart eBoost 2 and moved over to the ECUTek integrated boost control fingertip through the steering wheel. Those consumers that have it know how amazing it is. It's a pretty nice little modification. The Bosch injectors have been replaced with Injector Dynamics 1300cc X injectors. It is a phenomenal injector for ethanol, stainless steel construction on the internals. It's really going to help skate off any issues you potentially have through contamination through the ethanol fuel over time. So all in all, it is a great build. It's really nostalgic to get back here and see this car at the shop. It's an out-of-state car. I originally had my hands all over it at the shop back in late 2016. And I do remember getting this car and speaking directly with Jason on the phone. Seb, I originally, didn't I call the customer and I asked him on the phone, hey, can we turn this up a little bit, and on the dyno, can we go for that 700 number? And he said, go for it. And I think we ended up making over 700 wheel with this back in 2016 on ethanol. And why that's important comes into play is the stock block. We obviously dialed it back a little bit when we gave it back to the customer. We wanted it to be super, super safe, which it is. Case in point, we're still rocking the stock motor all these years later, 5.5, 6 years later. So we're super excited about this. Let's dive in, show you a little bit about how the dyno session's gone. This car, holy shit. 713 horsepower, 557 foot-pounds of torque, 14.5 PSI, stock block, now stage 1 turbos, we're stage 2 at the time, integrated boost controller via ECUTek and Sebastian's wizardry, 6 years removed from when we did the install, tens of thousands of miles. Congrats, Jason, you got a hell of a car, dude. All on top of it, a version 2 NISMO. Beautiful ride, man. 5th gear pull. Okay, so car just performed on the dyno really, really well. I'm gonna go over this with you. And what Sebastian did was he actually dynoed the car in 4th gear just prior to us arriving. So we have a 4th gear and a 5th gear pull. Obviously the car had sat for a while, so it made about a pound of extra boost on its own. I did this pull. Sebastian was gracious enough to let me do it. And for the record, I'm not a tuner. I just got my rocks off getting to sit in the car and push the shiny button and push the pedal to the ground. It's pretty rad. A little adrenaline rush. As we stated, this kit is about 5.5, 6 years old on this car. We did the install originally in 2016 with all the bits. Came back for these amazing upgrades here. And what is so cool about this integrated ECUTek boost controller in the steering wheel is now with the Race Rom 5 and the flex fuel compatibility and the controllability, which we never had back in the day, right? So we were creating custom maps for the flex fuel on this car and the ethanol. Everything is just so much smoother. Everything is so much more linear. You know, with an aftermarket boost controller, we're setting a target, we're setting our wastegate pressure, it's hitting that, we're setting our overboost, and you know, our torque is coming in a lot heavier. And with this being a stock motor car, stock rods, it's all about preservation of connecting rod, right? So torque here is obviously key. Back in the day, we'd make about 650 wheel and about 560, 570 foot-pounds of torque. And for the record, this is obviously just a glory number. The car's not gonna leave with this. But what Sebastian is able to do in the 4th gear pull, look at how smooth this is all the way up. This is a torque curve here. We don't have any crazy blips, any crazy mounds, any crazy spikes. And the boost is just incredible. I mean, how it comes in, how it's just linear all the way, super, super smooth. I will state we're about out of fuel pump. It's a single pump Walbro 450. Really has no more in it. Cold, 14.5 pounds of boost, 713 at the tire, 557 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, what more is there to say on a stock connecting rod car? And for the naysayers or the skeptics, will it survive there? It will. We have had cars that have put 30 to 40,000 miles ethanol set up with our stage 1 or stage 2 kits. Track driven car, I can think of one specifically that was in Arizona. He beat it up in the dead of the heat in Arizona in the summertime in July and August, making about 550, 560 rear wheel torque. Another car back in South Carolina that had tracked it as well. He's one of the earlier ones, making about 530, 540 foot-pounds of torque. I believe that car is still running like a champ. We've had plenty of cars out there that have actually put down numbers very comparable to this with torque. Obviously the power was, about that and about that torque. This is just outstanding for a stock motor car without having to throw 17, 18 PSI at it. Phenomenal. It's just a testament to the efficiency of the kit. It's a testament to the work that Sebastian and the team have put in with creating the evolution of progressing our turbo kit even further over the years. Very, very pleased, very, very happy with this overall, and we're excited about integrating this type of progression into new things we have coming forward for the 370Z as well as the next generation Z.
Hey guys, Seb at Specialty Z here. We've got Fast Intentions Twin Turbo Kit number 63. It's been a few years since I've seen this car. It's back for a little bit of upgrades. We've upgraded the fuel injectors. We've also upgraded some of the fuel system and done some maintenance. The beautiful thing about these cars is the ease of how the kit comes together and also the pure enjoyment of driving it. The other things we've done to it as well is added our Specialty Z scavenge pump kit to help the oil coming out of the turbos get back into the crankcase. It's been such a pleasure to work with these cars. The great thing about the ECUTek software is we now have complete control of boost. So instead of having a complete standard duty cycle throughout the entire gear and also engine speed, we can control the boost duty cycles dependent on gear and also engine speed. So we can tailor and make things a lot safer for the engine while also keeping the power up at the high RPMs. Love the way the kit comes together with the NISMO. It looks just like everything should be there. It has its place. Nothing was really an afterthought with this kit. I really enjoy installing them and tuning them, and the best part, driving them as well. Puts a smile on your face. You have the enjoyment for years to come with an FI kit when it's tuned correctly.